Community Safety Patrol members are being phased out of Surrey thanks to a decision by the RCMP Detachment Superintendent. Greg Harper is live at the Newton Recreation Centre this morning with more. Greg.
Good morning, Kyle. Well, it's getting busy here this morning, and I'm talking to a number of hockey parents dropping their kids off for hockey practice here this morning. And I can tell you that safety here is still a big concern with hockey parents. Of course, this is where hockey mom Julie Pascal was murdered over a year ago now. The city did respond by launching a safety patrol program. This happened in April, but it looks as though this program will be phased out. This after the superintendent with the Surrey RCMP said the patrols are ineffective, expensive, and inefficient. Reportedly, the program costs around $35,000 a month. The city hired 20 of these community safety patrol members last year. Their job is to observe anything suspicious and report it to the RCMP, and they are unarmed, which is a major concern according to one Surrey City councillor. This is not a popular move, though, with the Newton Community Association, which has been pushing for a decrease in crime and an increase in safety within the community. And safety, again, still a huge issue here. The city says that 30 new RCMP officers will be hired over the next 6 weeks, but the concern here today is that won't be enough. Kyle?
Greg Harper live this morning for us in Surrey. Thanks for that, Greg. 17 officers, 148 allegations of misconduct. Those are the charges facing members of the Abbotsford Police Department this morning.
I have looked at the allegations against them. I'm aware of the number. I'm aware of how serious the allegations themselves are, but I'm looking at the facts, and I have confidence in my members.
The Office of the Police Complaint Commissioner says the accusations include corrupt practice, deceit, and neglect of duty. They stem from statements provided by Abbotsford officers to get search warrants. The probe started when one officer was arrested in 2013, accused of misconduct in a drug case. That was brought to light by fellow officers. Abbotsford's police chief thinks most of the cases are more likely procedural errors than glaring lies.
The evidence will tell us whether it's a practice or if it's an individual officer who is corrupt or individual officers who are corrupt, or if it's just poor business practices where people are not taking the care that they need to when they're filling out these important documents. They're swearing to the truth of them, so they have to make sure that there's no information in there that's misleading or inaccurate.
Vancouver and New Westminster police departments have both been involved in this investigation since the original Abbotsford officer came under scrutiny. Well, the body of a snowboarder has been found in an inbounds area at Whistler Blackcomb Resort. The BC Coroner Service says the young man was reported missing on Tuesday night. The death does not appear to be suspicious, and it's believed he was wearing a helmet. A body recovered on the North Shore Mountains has been confirmed as that of Liang Jin. His body was airlifted from the Haines Valley by members of North Shore Rescue yesterday. The 21-year-old had been missing since New Year's Eve after telling his father he was going hiking. Previous searches of this treacherous area yielded no sign of Jin. While official searches were called off, his family continued to scour the area. A memorial is growing in Burnaby for a young woman who died from her injuries following Tuesday afternoon's horrific accident near BCIT. The 22-year-old pedestrian sustained a traumatic head injury when she was struck by one of two vehicles involved in a crash on Canada Way. 4 people in those vehicles were also injured, although not as seriously. The cause of the crash is under investigation. A jury has heard a couple accused of plotting to bomb the BC legislature declare themselves as a sleeper cell of Al-Qaeda in new video released in their trial.
We're accused of Canada. Al-Qaeda. People having the right to have a relationship. Al-Qaeda. That's who we are.
The video shows John Nuttall and Amanda Carodi in a Delta hotel room unpacking supplies they bought to allegedly make the bombs. The video shows the two of them together alone, watching CNN and discussing their plans. The Crown says the couple, who were recent converts to Islam, were self-radicalized and were not part of a larger terrorist group.
For the first time, Crossfire should be very lively. We're going to have a little taster of this. This is going to rock the world. The whole world is going to hear about this. At the Supreme Court's decisions today. You know that, right?
Nada later tells an undercover officer he hopes his father and stepmother are at the legislature for the Canada Day bombings. Nuttall says he was regularly beaten and locked in his room to write out the Bible by hand. Their trial continues in downtown Vancouver this morning. Former BC Premier Gordon Campbell is currently Canada's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, and he had a very special visitor at the office this morning. Queen Elizabeth herself reopened the newly refurbished Canada House in central London earlier today. The building, which overlooks Trafalgar Square, is home to the Canadian High Commission. Campbell and members of the RCMP greeted the Queen and the Duke of Edinburgh when they first arrived. Besides fully restored original features of the 19th century building, new modern workspaces represent the best of Canadian design and craftsmanship. Call it the year of the goat, the sheep, or the ram, whichever you prefer. Happy Chinese New Year. The animal science confusion stems from its Chinese character, which describes any of the mammals with or without horns. Many people prefer to translate it as the year of the sheep because sheep are more cute and cuddly. As you can see, celebrations happening this morning all over the world for this. Fortune tellers predict this is going to be a year of accidents and an unstable economy.